like to open the Water Sewer Commission meeting March 19th at 6:15. Members present is Kyle LaHoose, Colin here, and Bob Sullivan, Systems Manager. And first thing we do is the minutes. We have some minutes. So we have, the first ones are December 11th, 2024. So the only edits I seen was the correction on the spelling of your last name.
Right.
So I guess we need a motion to approve those.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as provided, minus the amendment for my last name.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next we have the minutes from January 27th. It looks like the same edits.
I'd make a motion to accept as presented, making an amendment to my spelling of my last name.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then we have the minutes of March 12th. And I think that was the only
Same thing, right?
Yep, so a motion on those.
Make a motion to accept, make an amendment to the spelling of my last name.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is this one you want to recommend this?
Yeah, that was the,
We don't know who seconded that.
That's what I mean, you just want to make the amendment to correct who seconded.
I suppose we could, just say, can we do that? I'm trying to think if we can, what was here, so it was either, all three of us were here, so it was either Bob or Kyle. So I guess we could, if we were just.
yeah,
The minutes were
I'm in approval.
corrected.
I'm in approval of what was voted on.
Yeah, but the only was just the name is the.
But there was somebody
Right.
seconded it,
Yeah,
but there's a name that we don't have.
so, how would we do that? So I guess we could do.
I could make a motion
Yeah.
to amend the spelling of my last name and amend where it says seconded by Dave Balby to Kyle LaHoose.
Okay, so you second, you remember doing that?
It
I'm
was
not,
either you or Josie.
yeah, it was either me or Josie,
Sorry.
but I'm in agreement to, I'd have to go back and.
I'm pretty sure you
back-
seconded most of the motions.
Okay, all right, so the motion is to amend and insert Kyle's name, Kyle LaHoose, on the second. Okay, so that was, so motion to approve the January 15th minutes as amended.
Second?
Aye. All in
Aye.
favor? Aye. All right, next we have the budget. We were, just kind of going through and briefing ourselves before the meeting, just to get ourselves, not discussing it, but up to just reviewing it. And then now we can discuss it if we'd like. How do you want to move forward now, Bob?
Looks like you wanted to find the 356,000 to reduce.
Yeah, plus the debt of the sewer
Right.
draw off.
The
Yeah,
debt.
so,
The debt takes care of itself.
yeah, right, but out of the total number. So if you, basically, we're gonna have to go back through, I think we're gonna have to go back through and look at, and get down to what the base budget is, and then to really look at, to get that number. I mean, we can try to go through what we
I mean,
expended on FY '24 actual and see what came out of that. But there's a report that Gene gives me, I didn't get it this year, that actually has every account,
Yeah, that's
and what
the
the
detailed
detailed
expenditure report.
detailed expenditure report, and then with the detailed expenditure report, it's good because you know if it's a one-time item, you can see what that dollar figure is.
Right.
You know, it tells you, so out of all the expenses, you know that that's not happening again, so you can pull that out.
Right.
So it gives a little more
Yeah,
depth.
recurring or
Right.
one time.
Right.
But for the 356, I mean,
And we'd have to look at how that was worded, because if it was out of that 356 that we're discussing, was any of that being used on the expense side as well? I don't think it was. I think it was strictly for
Potential projects.
projects, yeah. I don't think we budgeted using retained earnings for on the expenses. I mean, on the
Line items.
line items. I think those were strictly for projects that we were gonna get completed.
yeah, I'll have to double check that. I don't think we had 356 on that second sheet that we had agreed to.
Where did I have that number? That was... What was that?
I want to say it was 160,000 was retained earnings for projects. And then you guys voted to do a rate increase to cover the additional.
Right. That's why I'm wanting to see what that number
In the
is.
356 that you said, I think we had 45 that we pulled out of system development for sewer.
Yep, there would have been, it would have said it on the article, where we were transferring that from.
Well, it says retained earnings, but I'm saying that we earmarked from system development for sewer and system development for water. It was 50 and 45. The 160, I think you wanted to make up in the rates, because those were increases in the budget themselves, but we had to pull from retained earnings because we didn't have that revenue.
It was actually an increase of...
6%, I think, because in the meeting, we discussed 6% was the increase. At the end, when you made the motion, you were starting to say 5%, and said it was close. But then we went with the
Right.
6%.
Well, because we didn't know every line item didn't need to be raised six, the
I'm
whole
just saying
budget,
it was-
yeah.
When we went through line item by line item, there was an increase of everyday expenditures of 6%.
I had said approximately 6%, because we didn't know every line item was not gonna be 6% when that was done. That's why I said approximately, it wasn't based on a hard number.
And then, so it was a 6% increase that we had to do overall to cover a portion of that retained earnings
So that would have
of the
probably,
356.
so you're saying that was retained, that came out of retained earnings for that?
Yeah, until we raised the rates in order to cover that difference.
Right, but I thought that was anticipated, and that's why we had the vote before the billing went out, so we had the revenue.
Before the billing went out,
Right,
yeah.
so we had the revenue to cover that, so that we
Yeah,
would
I'd have to check how we figured that in, but.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have budgeted twice for it in the budget. So it was 3, so we have that number, so that was approximately, I only have it at 5%, was the 150. Oh no, so that was at 6, but this is the one right here, right? 'Cause that was 2.5, 5.
Yeah, don't go by this one.
That was the
This is
6
this
year. Yeah. So it would have been 156.9, which would have been what, based on the 6%, if I remember correctly. Because that was the 5, and then you had the,
Right. Oh, that's last year's?
yeah, yeah. That was for the rate, to balance the budget out. And then the transfer of the retained earnings
I
was
think those numbers changed from that.
320. No, 320 final. We approved the budget, that's 320.
What's the bottom number, 7? That was the wrong sheet. I'm not sure what that did. Oh, I did different.
This, I think this is the 6%.
On the website, 16.5%.
That's for this one, 174.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2.5, 5, and I think that was where it came in at. Oh, it has the numbers right there anyway, so you can see where the retained earnings was 193,000. That's
Are you
just
reading the bottom number?
development.
That's the total
Yeah.
budget, 1.937 million.
What do we got, what do we got for retained earnings? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing a line. 171,000.
These were
That's
estimates
development.
showing you what each
Right.
increase would equate to.
Yep.
And the 16.5 was to get it to a 0 coming out of retained earnings.
Coming out of retained
So we
earnings.
went with this.
Right.
This isn't what the actual budget came out as. You look at your other sheet, what the approved,
Yeah.
what you guys approved as the budget.
Yeah, the budget is right here.
So you have that number on the bottom of that, should be these numbers that I have down here.
What numbers do you have? Which one? On
No,
the,
you don't have it on those sheets for some reason.
the total?
What's the total?
$1,937,720.99.
Yeah. Something I changed in the sheet when I was working on it. I'm off by, no, I rounded. So this would have been the number, so 158 would have been raised from user fees and charges. 101,658 from debt, 45 from system development, for sewer, 50 from water development, 160 from retained earnings, for that total.
So the 160 would have been 270 something.
So it's 160 retained earnings, but then there's 50 and 45.
Out of system development. The sewer system
Which is retained
development,
earnings, because
right.
there's no real existence of
Right.
it.
I know, but she breaks them out. Jean breaks them out separately.
I'm just gonna see if I can pull up the article from last year. Is that
So it would
thing
be
at the end of the
160.
tape, or?
Nope.
Okay.
So another 95, so that would have been 2. So 255 would have been what we transferred. So 255,000 would have been used for projects.
So, that was 101. Capital was 100,000. What was 100,000 capital? Oh, the article does say that. So retained earnings was 160. Sewer system development was 45. Water system development was 40. Reserve for debt 101.
Right, always, it breaks it out, I know that.
Transfer the sum of 356,658 from retained earnings. That's the breakdown. 160 plus, that doesn't matter. Oh, retained earnings, she's pulling the debt from retained earnings as well. So that was part of it, so you gotta subtract that 101 out.
The debt came out of retained earnings?
It's in retained earnings.
I know it's
just
still
as
in
a-
a different bucket, right. I have to look at how that was worded again.
I just read it. So,
Let me see.
transfer the sum of $356,658 from water sewer retained earnings with a breakdown here in parentheses. Retained earnings 160, sewer system development 45, water system development 50, reserve for debt 101.
Mm-hmm.
So that, the 101's included in the
In the-
356.
Okay. So pull that out.
So take that out, it's 255.
Right, that's what I was looking at on
So
this.
255 exactly.
Right, so the 160, the 50, the 45.
Yep.
And then the debt is pulled out of 101.
So 255 was what was pulled from retained earnings.
For-
Outside of debt.
For projects that we didn't, so that's what, I think we need to.
Right, so when I pulled stuff out, I added things back in here, so
Yeah.
to go back to that, there's 50 for engineering on water, 50 for engineering on sewer, and then 60 on water and 60 on sewer for trucks, that's in this budget. So that's 220,000 right there.
Yeah, I
There
think,
was an additional 30,000 that was on a PRV,
which one we're,
that'll be on the water side.
okay. Under,
So if you look under other supplies,
yep,
I dropped that down to 25, but I had kept 15 in there because we need, or I pulled out
Oh, on the
15,000, that was
supplies.
for the PRV.
okay.
Because we did one of the PRVs this
Mhm.
year, we didn't do both because I can't take both down at the same time. So I had it in there to do the other one this year.
So you're looking at, eight, okay, because you already did that, yeah.
You had 245.
And I had meter pits, I think I had that on the list. To get meter pits, I pulled 10,000 out for a meter pit on that line item, the one right above it, public works supplies.
Mm-hmm.
It was 70, I pulled out 10 to get it down to 60.
Okay.
So I just noticed I'm missing a number here.
So 25,000.
Missing this number here, add back in.
So you got,
He went to instead. I lost that, but he made he's going for up Mountain or down Depot. That one. I saw it earlier on Main Street and was wearing a full face. He was wearing good coat. I don't know which one, but the high school one.
so,
Alright.
And if you look at the bottom number, I mean, I'm down 120,000 from pulling stuff out.
stuff that was already done.
Stuff that was done, or I looked at it and said we had too much in a line item. So you see I pulled 63 out of the repairs and maintenance, which is some of those.
Repair, maintenance. Where's the-
On sewer. If you look at the repairs and maintenance budget,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
if you look, you can see negative 63,
Mm-hmm.
which I think if you look at your sheet, that top item, which is what that came out of, you know, the side sheet that I have here, you have a sheet that shows what
Yeah,
we earmarked.
yeah.
And if you look, I think that number you have is 63.
What an increase.
these are projects that we had said,
Right.
so that was 63 of that,
Mhm.
which is pulled out, showing there.
Yeah,
So that 63 has been pulled out. Like I said, the PRV was pulled out. Did we have PRV on this list too?
PIV 30,000.
Yeah. So it's 30 to do both.
Yeah.
I
So you
did
pulled
one.
out, 15.
So I pulled out 15. And then what is it here that we have?
Spare pump for Davis, that would have been in last year's budget,
That was bought.
yeah, 30,000. And then spare sludge decant pump, 2 of those, 10,000. Spare post DQ
I think I
pump.
wrote how many I need, but this is to replace
Oh, but it's one, yeah, yeah, so then each one, yeah, so we had 10 for this, for that one, then 7,500 for the additional.
We didn't budget for those two.
Yeah.
It was just these.
Yeah,
It was this one. This got bought the
That was
previous year,
previous
so
year.
we only budgeted the one there.
yeah, 10.
Which line item was that?
Uh,
Capital.
Yep, capital.
And that's on sewer. So if we go to capital, I pulled out the 10,000. You see the shaded
Yeah,
area?
yeah, yeah.
So I pulled the 10,
Truck.
but I put 60 in there for the truck. Like I said, I'm running around trying to do all this stuff. I get halfway through the shifting it from one way to the other. So all the additional stuff that we had listed as projects were pulled out. But then, like I said, I had added back in a truck on each side, and then the 50,000 on each side for the engineering. Was the difference between these and what we did for retained earnings. We had said the 50,000 on the engineering.
Yep,
His numbers that we just put in there, take it out of capital, retained earnings.
yeah,
And the intent is to not use it, but if we get in a situation where we needed it,
yeah,
because we would have lost out on this $8.5 million in upgrades that we did for nothing, if we didn't have money there to cover those unanticipated engineering costs that we needed to get to that point.
yeah. I remember calling Bob and Eric about that before the meeting. And asking him what he needed for that. So we could get that in there, on that, when we were doing the budget that particular year.
Yep.
All right, so what do we gotta do for, to make this a balanced budget, so we need to know what our revenues are. So we actually need that number. And then that's what we have to work with.
Well, my anticipation on the
And then-
revenue, I would say, is about 1.7.
Okay, and then did we get the, I know we had asked for the balance of retained earnings. Did you get a number on that?
Well, Gene was out this week,
Yeah,
so, right now, we're looking at, after taking out the money that was already approved at town meeting, we've got a balance of about 1.039 million.
okay, so then we can do,
And that's, I also factored in, we got 7,000 for a prior year bill that we gotta do at this fall town meeting. Or, well, this year, the special town meeting, we got, it's roughly $7,000 for a prior year bill that I gotta get paid.
so what was the total retained earnings in, one what?
1.039.
1,039,620. That's rounding numbers, so
Yeah,
might be off by a dollar or something.
okay.
And that's
That's-
already factoring in what's been approved to take out for the engineering for depot
Okay,
and for that prior year bill for 7,000.
okay, and does that include,
That doesn't include what will go back this year for unexpended,
right, which would be,
unexpended salaries, and
right. So that number's gonna increase
it'll increase our retained
Yeah.
earnings, correct?
in October, right? That way it gets recertified, right? Okay, so then, so it's looking like about, so our expenses need to come in at the one, so which we're gonna pull out, so we're gonna pull out some of these projects and see what our expenses are gonna come in at.
Like I said, if you pull out
Salaries
the,
and-
if you pull out the 250s, and you pull out the 260s, that's 210 less. Right now, we're at 1.8 with those in there.
Right.
So if you pull those two out, you're at roughly 1.6.
And I don't mind using retained earnings for some of the, obviously, that's what the money's for, is to go towards repairs and projects that at one time.
So actually, I gotta add back, for some reason, that number didn't go in for the health insurance. I would anticipate that'll be somewhere around 32,000 more there. But that's, I gotta run the numbers to make sure. If I had to guess, it'd be right around there.
Oh, 32,000?
Roughly, yeah.
Third column.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just noticed it was blank. So that would put you at 1.844 minus the, like I said, minus the 220 that's in there. But that includes the debt service
Right,
for
which
the
is
anticipated borrowing.
for this year, for
Correct.
20,000.
Yep. Which would be an interest-only payment.
Mhm.
And that's if we borrowed that much.
Borrowing the 960.
And I'm highly anticipating that that depot money that we pulled out of retained earnings should not hit that number. I think after the Charty experience, the engineers went way on the caution side, so we weren't running back and forth trying to get more money to finish the project.
Yeah.
So I think they very conservatively estimated what it would cost for the engineering portion of that.
Okay.
So I would anticipate some of that money going back to retained earnings. If it doesn't, I'll be quite upset. Well, I was trying to find numbers to save a little. I did drop the OPEB back to 5 on each. So if you guys want that back at 10 each, you can let me know that.
What was that one?
OPEB, it's other post-employment benefits. So there's employment benefits for people that worked here.
Mhm.
That like health insurance or I'm not even sure what the other parts of that consist of, but it's just other benefits that people that worked here that retire
Yep. Once they're vested.
still get,
Yep.
yeah, once they're vested, so.
Mhm.
There had been a period that it was unfunded, so we had a huge deficit going into that, so we had started contributing 5,000 a year out of each department
Right.
to try to get that fund back up to current.
Right.
And then 2 years ago, I think, I increased it to 10. Just trying to work on that. I had asked for a meeting, but everything's been so hectic that the town hasn't had time to set up a meeting with whatever department deals with the OPEB. So we gotta meet with them to see where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
So until I get that, I can't really tell you if we should be raising or decreasing it, but once we get that figured out, but like I said, this is something that we had a big deficit on that we were trying to catch up on.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we were proactive trying to bring it up.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you're trying to cut numbers here, then
I'm not trying to cut them, we gotta see where we're gonna land. That's what we gotta.
I'm just saying, if we're trying to reduce it and avoid raising rates, there's one that we can cut that's not gonna affect operations or anything, so. You let me know on that one, if you wanna put that back up to 10, or if you wanna keep it at 5 until we can.
I think we'll have to go through to see where everything lands and then.
Yeah, and I can't tell you where that one should be right now.
Yes.
That was kinda throwing darts at a dartboard.
And then the only thing that, the other one I'm looking at was on the truck issue. I know You would say that would be nice, I know one of the trucks, or two of the trucks are in,
Two of the trucks are in rough shape, and I thought they were
Right.
shorter vehicles to begin with.
one of them, but I don't think it's not a good plan, I don't think it's a good plan to buy two in 1 year. I think we should, I think we could probably skate through with one new truck, and then, look at next year's budget with an additional truck. Unless we can make these numbers work without raising rates, and still accomplish what we need to do on getting all the projects that need to get done as well.
Was that a pickup, Paul, or was that a utility?
I have not made that determination yet,
Yep.
just I'm ballparking the number there, so.
Right.
Yeah, there'll be with utility on that.
That's what I was gonna say, I mean, I think we should have one more utility bed truck.
Right.
If that one goes down, we're kinda screwed with tools and parts and supplies.
Have you ever looked at buying one, looked at the,
Transits or something.
something, right?
So I was told that the transits were done, I think there was like 2 left around that you could get.
Really? Or
I'm
something,
not opposed to it.
just like a box truck, so the tools just like for inside, and then you have all the,
Yeah,
Workbench.
right,
yeah, like Dudley has one of those, it's kind of that shape where you can walk into it.
Yeah, I have an
And they-
E550 that's like that.
That's what
Yeah.
it
You
is.
get the workbench,
Yeah, yeah.
torches, you get everything right in there,
You
mobile
got like slide out
workshop.
drawers on the part that you work with to put those are a lot more than 60.
I have a price for them.
I would say you're over 100 for one of those outfitted that way.
On the bigger service truck tucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not thinking that, I'm thinking more just the daily stuff for
Be popping around for the odds and
Like Steve, if he's gonna go
meter
do,
readings.
right, and he's gonna do some service work and things like that.
So
Obviously,
you can, instead of the utility bed that we have one of the more enclosed utility?
yeah, if it's more practical, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
I mean, I'll look at it.
Yes.
We had talked about it, I just didn't see us getting up to, I mean, I had thought about like the utility bed with the crane off the side.
Mm.
I mean, most of the pumps that we have now are submersibles.
Yeah.
So you gotta pull them with a pump truck or a crane truck.
yeah.
So to try to avoid paying someone to come in, that's, $1,500 to $2,000 anytime we call somebody to pull a pump like that.
Right.
We had tried to mount one of the little hand crank cranes,
Yeah.
a base for that over there, but that got ripped out last time they pulled the pump, so.
Mm.
Ripped out of the concrete, so.
Yeah, something to look into anyway, I'm just
I'm
thinking.
kind of out of touch on the municipal side of the pricing, but does it make sense to get a couple different options, current pricing?
Yeah, I'm saying we can look at them and see.
Yeah.
At least see, I mean, the other thing too to think of is every year we wait, it goes up, prices are going up.
Yeah,
But at least you got good numbers to go off
yeah.
of.
I guess we just,
It's a discussion, at least a discussion
Yeah,
with numbers.
yeah. Only thing I guess we'd look at would be, I mean, do we wanna have all pickup trucks, or would it be nice to have one, like that service truck that you can put all the supplies and things like that in? So when you go on a service call, you're not just throwing stuff in the back of the truck and,
Yeah. Well, I mean, his utility, yeah.
yeah, the utility thing, that's pretty good, but,
From the compartments.
which I have, but. Sometimes it's just easier if it's raining outside, everything's inside, you can go in, you can do stuff inside, and-
I think those are out of this price range.
is it?
I think Adam's utility bed truck that he bought was like 65.
Was it? I was just looking at them the other day. They were up to, with the extended cab, they were at like 72. That was four-wheel drive, extended cab, yeah.
I mean,
No,
extended cab would be nice if you could put
Yeah.
some stuff
Yeah.
inside, but
but it's hard to find them. I was looking, I was trying to find them, I couldn't find them. I found a couple that were, but they were around that, they were at the, depending what it was in, obviously, but like 55 to 65, so. For a regular cab, service truck,
yeah, that's more what I would be looking at.
yeah. But I think to explore them just to get an idea and maybe ask Steve his thought on a service type van type truck.
I mean, he's got the newest truck right now with the utility bed, but
Yeah.
so like I said, I mean, I wouldn't for the 250,000s that we put in there, like I said the last time when we did this, those aren't something that I would use towards rates. That's definitely a capital
Oh, retained
or
earnings.
retained earnings line item,
Right.
because it's there just in case. If we don't use it, it just goes back into retained earnings, so.
Mhm.
Reduced electricity, just based on what we've been using. So I reduced the electricity line item by 15,000 on the water. Kept it the same on the sewer. The water looked like we were over budgeted.
I wish I could do that at my house.
I think we had some anticipations of, we had bought the mobile property, so we had electricity usage there that we were anticipating going up. We anticipated the rates going up,
Mm-hmm.
just with the unanticipated,
Yeah,
unexpected,
Uncertainty.
not uncertainty.
right.
We had raised it some, last year we went up by 5, and I think we didn't need to go up. And then looking at where we stood this year,
Give you a better gauge on it.
yeah, I think we had an idea where we are, and then, I think I may have reduced heating. No, I kept
Stayed
heating
the
the
same.
same. Yeah, kept heating the same, because I'm uncertain on, whether or not switching to the gas is actually gonna be a benefit. And then, when I looked at reducing on, because everybody said, oh, it's gonna be cheaper with gas than it is with the propane. But then you see all over the news, the rate hikes on natural gas, so I'm like, well, I better not mess with it
Right.
at this point.
Yeah.
I increased insurance premiums on water, reduced them on sewer, just based on what the numbers look like and percentages we anticipated for an increase. Synagro went up just because I'm anticipating, first of all, issues.
On the sewer,
Yeah, so I went up
which is
32,000 on Synagro,
which one?
just based on their,
Other services halfway down.
the biggest number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I increased that by 32 over last year just because we did get a rate hike on them. And then we don't know where it's gonna go with the contract, and then they're very unreliable as to whether or not they're coming, or if they have shutdowns. We had multiple weeks where they shut down and we can't get loads taken out. We've been working on trying to set something up with either Upper Blackstone or trying to find another outlet for the sludge if we can't get it done through Synagro, but no matter where we go, it's gonna be more expensive.
Did you get any more feedback on Upper Blackstone, or no?
Not yet. All the other towns I've talked to too, so they're waiting.
So where are we landing on that? So where are we at for,
So like I said, you gotta add the 32,000 for the health insurance, that puts us up to like 1.844 minus the 120. So you're at 1.604 or 624. $1.624 is essentially your baseline that you were looking for. I think you said it was 1.5 something, but we've had increases
Yeah,
based on
some
salaries, and
salaries,
like I said,
right.
there was the
right,
32,000 on Synagro. You can just go down the side item here. The town insurance waiver had to go up just in case we get an employee, and I don't know whether they, what's the?
Which one are you looking at?
It's the HSA, not the, labor. I went up 2,000 on each side, just in case we, can actually find staff. Cause that will be a guaranteed expense. So there's 4,000 of the increase, plus the 32,000 from Citigroup. Rentals and lease, I went up 500 because we're gonna do the, well field this year.
Mm-hmm.
And insurance premiums gonna go up. Although I apparently was off on my budget last year, so I went down 1,000 on sewer and up 3,000 on water. And that's based on looking at what the actual numbers came in last year and the anticipated increase. So like I said, that's,
So based on these numbers here, at one point, let's say 1.624.
624.
And now,
but you reduced the 20,000 because that was unanticipated for the debt. But I put the debt in there, so that 1.64 includes the debt.
okay. So now, if we're going, if we would use those numbers, now we have to look at what,
Anticipated.
which was
1.7. 1.7 was the number you said, Bob, right? Anticipated revenue.
That's what I'm ballparking,
Okay.
yeah.
And then what are you looking at for retained earnings for projects?
Well,
That's the,
that's the list we gotta go over first.
that's what I wanna see. And I still think we should be pulling, we could pull 30,000 out of, if we just do one truck. I don't think we should be doing two trucks. We could pull 30,000 out of that if needed, but,
It's not 30, it's 60.
right, but 30 and 30 out of each. One out of water, one out, because you got
I budgeted for two, one at
right,
860
one
each.
each, but it would be 30, so the water would be 30, sewer would be 30.
Well, I would just
Yeah.
pull it out of one department,
Yeah.
I wouldn't split the,
I thought you split it. You don't split them all? Oh, okay,
No.
all right. So on the repair and maintenance, we had budgeted last year, we budgeted quite a bit on the tree removal, on our budget.
so we ended up not expending for tree removal, we rented a lift, and we did a crap load of tree removal ourselves.
Yeah,
So because we did all the tree removal ourselves, we didn't pay someone else to come in and do tree removal this year.
yeah, I wanna see
But
what the.
if I was gonna do it, I'm probably gonna do it in the spring anyway. But I needed to see where I stand budget-wise, so I,
Yeah, we had put,
fence work I haven't done, I can't do that in the winter, so that'll be this spring.
I actually think it was picked up, I thought it was picked up double in the budget. I thought we had put 6,000 in there for tree removal.
Yeah, we had 3 up top and then 3, cause I split it between
Right,
mobile, yeah, so it's about halfway down.
yeah, I had tree removal with 6,000. But I think in the budget, for some reason,
Oh, 3 and 3.
Yeah.
I reduced it to 15 and 15 on this one.
yeah, so, for some reason I thought that was in. What was I thinking, let me turn out repair and maintenance. Where is that? Oh, it's over here, yeah,
That's here.
yeah, so I thought we put, I'll do the line item and I had it broken out. I don't remember that. I remember discussing, but I thought I seen it twice in the budget.
Yeah. Well, this line.
No, but 6,000, it was double on 6,000, not 3 and 3.
Oh, no, it was 3 and 3.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got
what
the
had happened was,
Oh, maybe the fence repairs, maybe that was part of it.
no, I got fence repairs everywhere, but I think what had happened is we have,
Oh, yeah, 10,000 we put in the budget for that, that's what it was in 25. Fence repairs was from trees,
yeah,
10,000.
that's for the fence repairs here.
Yep, and then we had
And I got fence repairs up at Colonial that need to be done.
10,000, we had
And
20,
I got-
so we had 20,000 that we budgeted for.
Right, but I got, the fence got taken down at Mobile,
Yeah.
it got taken down at Primary, got taken down at, here and Colonial. So that's why it was, the different departments each have
Yeah,
money that needs to be spent, because Primary's got fence half
Yeah.
torn down. So Primary, Mobile,
so I
here
guess,
and Colonial.
so that was budgeted in the capital, so how did you work that into this budget? If it wasn't expended,
Well, I haven't expended it yet, the year's not over, it'll be,
Okay.
I'm not gonna put fencing in the winter.
I know,
So-
if you,
Yeah, the plan is to do it this spring, so that'll come out of this year's budget, not,
right, but you could have did it July 1 of last, when the budget was approved.
yeah, I could've.
Yeah.
But again, that's, like I say every year, I hold off on some of these projects because I have shit like that that happens and
Yeah,
then I gotta hold off on not doing
unexpected,
these
right.
because I don't have enough money to cover the unanticipated.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to get done this year, but I haven't got anybody that's gonna come in and actually agree that we're gonna get it done. So this, the fire alarm panel, I still wanna get done before the end of this fiscal year. The metal, the filter rehab I'm trying to get done this year. I couldn't get anybody to give me nobody would do apples to apples when I got pricing. So I couldn't award to anybody because I'm not doing the same thing. So I'm gonna see if I can get O'Leary to come in and do the metal fab work.
Mhm.
And that way, when these people bid, it'll just be on the coating. On the pumping coating, so. That I need to get done before the end of this fiscal year. So that won't be on 26. Tree removal won't be on 26. Or fence repair won't be on 26. Tree removal, I said before that we need to do a little every year, because
Yeah.
it's just trees everywhere, and now it's costing us more on fence work.
Well, that's my point, is I think I was gonna suggest that we increase the tree removal, so we're not doing fence repairs.
So, I've got Josh doing some of the tree work,
Yep.
so that's why I reduced it, because we're
Okay.
taking care of a lot of it. And like I said, we rented a lift and we did a lot of tree work down here at Turbin. I don't remember if we brought it to any other stations, but that was the intent on reducing that a little. Is, if we have staff, we can get some of it done ourselves.
Yeah. Well, it's nice having another set, like having the laborer's position filled. So he can be plugging away at a lot of that stuff, which
Yeah, he's been
he
doing
is
a great
doing.
job cleaning up around here. So,
Yeah, that does look good.
so tree removal, I would keep the 15. Like I said, it's 3,000 overall between the two departments.
Mhm.
So 26. Fence repairs. Still gonna try to get that done this year, so that's gonna be 25. So the SBR control panel, we didn't budget for that last year. That one should get done, because all those parts are obsolete, and they said that we can't get them anymore.
Fire alarm panel.
That one I said I still want to try to get done this year,
Mhm.
but I gotta get a company that will say, yes, we can fix
Yeah,
it.
we had budgeted 25.
Yeah, because I think in the years past, I think I spent probably close to 30, and they never resolved the issue. So I'm trying to get somebody that'll say, yep, we can resolve the issue for this much.
Right, so we can just leave that, that's in the 20, that's in FY
25, yeah.
So that's current, so we don't have to worry about that in this budget.
Yep,
That's already,
same with the fence repair.
yeah, fence repairs, the same thing.
But the tree removal, put in 26. The SBR control panel should be done in 26. Sewer repairs, you know, that was something that I had said should be budgeted every year.
Where is it? Which one?
It's the next one under SBR, it's 25,000.
Oh, so repairs, yeah.
That should just go into
I&I.
the base budget for I&I work. You know, that's camera in, if you find problems, if we can repair one.
Yeah.
We got a couple on North Street that I was trying to hold off and do them as part of the project. That project doesn't go forward, I need to get those taken care of.
Oh, on North
We
Street?
had repaired a couple last year at North Street.
Yeah.
The Pista Grid I had in there for 25,000 to try to repair, I can't seem to find anybody that'll do the work. I've asked dozens of people to give me a quote, everybody comes and looks at it, everybody calls the manufacturer, get them a repair manual.
So that's already in this year's budget.
Yeah, but I can't get anyone to do it, so, I think I wrote a memo somewhere that, you know, it was potentially needing to replace that even if I can't get anyone to fix it. Chemical root treatment,
Right, so I just wanna make sure we're not,
did we have,
uh,
you said it was in this year's budget, did we have that?
we had Pista Grid repairs, chemical root treatment,
We had it in
15,000.
25?
No. Unless we did, you'd have to add up the whole one,
No,
would we?
Yeah, it was just this one, this one, this one, this
Okay,
one.
then it's 24, 25.
That was done.
Yeah.
Cross that off. I think I had that
Yeah.
crossed out, didn't I? Yeah, I pulled that one over here because I took it out of here because it's already done.
10,000. Which one, you're looking at the,
Davis.
Other part of
That
the
one's been purchased.
responding to the municipal center, 29 Depot Street, eval,
Yeah,
particular fire alarm.
spare decon pump
so
29
that,
Depot
was
Street.
10 that will be ordered in this fiscal, but I had a waste pump crap out that had to get replaced this year.
yeah, so we had that in, yeah, okay. Need 3 of those.
Yeah, I got 3 of them that I have. Like I said, I wanted to order one, but I was planning on ordering it in 26, but it died in 25, so I didn't get the decant pump yet for here, which was what we earmarked for this year,
Yeah,
but the sludge pump went instead, or waste pump. So I now need to replace a waste pump and a decant pump.
so, yeah, we had budgeted one for that.
We had
but-
budgeted a decant pump, but like I said,
We need
we
to,
didn't budget
For
the
the-
waste pump,
for the
when
waste
the
pump.
waste pump died.
yeah, so we need the 7,500 for that. Which is in there, you have that in. That's in, no, that's additional, right?
It's gonna be additional, because I already blew that one this year,
Yeah,
and these are supposed to be spares,
Yeah,
but
I don't know about the,
Replacements
in a
right
moment,
now.
he'll be up there, momentarily.
so that should be 26, that should be 26.
$26 on,
Decant pump and 26 on a waste pump. And then next year I'll go for a post EQ pump. You know, that was one of the other things I said, I think when we discussed this last time. Because I'm only listing the ones that are right here at this plant. But we've also got 2 at Colonial, 2 at Davis Street, or Depot Street, 2 at Davis Street. I think it was,
yeah, it was, I think we counted them all last
it
year,
was
we threw them all, it was
like
like.
15 pumps or
you need
something.
to-
I was like,
Yeah, you can do.
we should
one
just
a
be
year.
buying 1 or 2 a year,
Yeah,
every
right,
year. So
yeah.
it should come in as part of our base budget.
Baseline, right?
Right, but I thought we.
Because it's
I
more than
thought-
3
I
years
thought
in a
we
row.
Increased that for that reason.
No, we didn't. This is listed under capital.
Yeah,
I don't think I had anything in capital. Capital was, our base numbers are for meters, radios, pipe, and hydrants. There's nowhere near enough to include pumps.
equipment.
Please no license sirens.
Replacement equipment, I only have the SCADA computer.
Alright, so,
I don't think I even had anything budgeted last year in replacement equipment, if you're looking at that to be under that line item.
replacement equipment?
Yeah,
It's not-
or we could look under the budget. It went in under additional equipment, I think. Or capital is what it was supposed to be under.
Yeah, we had 55 budgeted for additional for replacement equipment.
That was in the actual budget?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Never mind, I was looking at the wrong line item.
yeah.
No, the 55, that's on the sewer side. That was for the HVAC replacement. The 55 that was budgeted for that was for HVAC.
You're right. Replacement equipment,
Nothing on the warrant.
nothing on the wall. So what do you wanna do, you want on the SCADA, 26?
The SCADA computers?
Yeah, for replacement equipment on the sewer?
Well, I would,
Actually, you got them highlighted where you wanted to do,
yeah, I was gonna say, I would
Yeah,
prefer to hold off on that one.
okay, yep,
If I wanna move forward with that, I gotta get them to give me updated prices.
mm-hmm,
And if we have to, we can go to fall town meeting. I can try to plan for that. I think it's a lengthy process getting them anyway.
yeah,
Because they gotta they gotta order them, they gotta spec them, get all the right components that will work with the software, and then they've gotta rewrite the programs to work with the PLCs and everything.
yeah.
So that's a lengthy process, so if I get pricing on that, I'll try to push for that for fall town meeting if we're gonna add that as an item. So that'll be either FY '27, or we'll do it as a fall town meeting if I have to.
AC's on arrival at the location.
So we got the PIV replacements, 2 of those,
Yeah,
that's
10 by 1,
26,
I'll see if I can
right?
get a better spot for you.
One of those in '26, because I did one in
Oh, yeah,
'25.
that's right, yep, yeah,
That's why, I think I had it as 30,
yep,
and you see I
Yeah.
split it down this year to 2. I pulled the 15 aside to show that I already did one.
yep.
About 15.
Building repairs, primary, so that's in 26.
Yeah, we had something done with some of the brickwork and there's trim work over there. I think you've seen it.
Yep.
A2.
Okay, so what was that total come out to? What do we need to add with that? Let's think.
Last office on the left after you pass the building department.
So I can tell you what you missed.
Hmm?
So I'll do the math too, so I can tell you what you missed.
Let's see, I'm looking at, see what we got for, I'm going back up what you had highlighted for the pistol grit repairs. Didn't we do that? That was already,
I had it in there,
You
but
had
I
it
can't
in
get
there.
anybody
yeah,
to.
okay, so we don't have to add that.
Well,
Again,
Well, that depends if I can't get anyone to give me a price to get it done and sign a
Yeah.
contract this year. So I might need to carry it forward.
mhm,
But if I carry it forward, it won't be expended on this year, so that money's gonna go back to retained earnings from this year's budget.
right. Or do you wanna hold that one with the SCADA? With 27 of the fall.
I'd prefer to get that done if we can get it done. Like I said, budgeting isn't gonna hurt us to have it there. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. The money's just gonna go back to retained earnings. Like I said, so if I budget it now,
Yeah,
that money will be back in there
I know.
from this budget.
Yeah, but it's just tracking it. It's what's a pain. Because then it gets expended and then if we budget it again, so the next year we're looking at it.
So that's what I'm saying, I'm not spending it just because there's money there.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, it's just, if it gets done this year, then we had budgeted in the for FY '26 as well. So I know it goes back to retained earnings.
I know what you're
but
saying.
then we gotta do the budget FY '27, we gotta go back and backtrack to try to,
But I don't think I've ever said, oh, I got extra money because we over budgeted and I spend it on whatever, so,
I don't know.
you know.
So I think if you add the 25, you're at 219.
219?
So that's tree removal, SBR control panel, sewer repairs, pista grit, sludge decant pump, and the post waste pump, PRV, and building repairs.
Did you do the tree removals?
I didn't do the I did the one at the top. So you got two.
Another 1,500.
Yep. So 220, 500.
Oh, and a blower stage replacement. I would say I probably don't want to hold off too much on that. Just because if you listen to the blowers, if you listen to where the silences are, they're not sounding the greatest. They're resonating and stuff. But I think when I budgeted 33, that may be for 2. Because we've got 6 blowers. And I think I had listed somewhere to do 2 a year. So I'd say I'd rather be a little conservative on the number and say 20 instead of 33 and do 1 instead of 2. So I at least have one of them new. And that's another one of those things, kind of like your theory on the trucks. I don't want to replace them all the same year and then have them all die the same year.
So you were putting that 150 in for the bidding, the tank rehab?
Well, I think it needs to be done, but my problem is having enough time for myself to
Okay.
go through and run that project. So
Okay, so you wanna
I
hold
think
that?
I'll get some pricing from engineers, and then again, that'll be another, if I can get somebody to give me the pricing, it'll be a fall.
Yeah,
But Stantec was just a little crazy on their pricing on that, so I'm gonna try to shop at a smaller engineering firm to give us a better price on that. I can't see paying more for engineering to put it out to bid than the actual cost to do the work, so.
so what number did you come up with for all the projects? Is it,
I really gotta rerun that. He confused me when he did his number.
I'm at like 135.5? From those that are missing anything, do it again. 1,500 plus 20.
How much did you say?
25,000. Oh, I missed the 35 for the blower stage. The 33, that,
No, 20, I said.
Reduce it to 20.
Okay. Really calculate and conceal the numbers. What did you come up with?
155.5? What am I missing?
215.5.
What am I missing?
But we also didn't, we didn't include a truck, because I had pulled that out from these numbers when we,
I just put one in, so, you know what, I didn't include the,
the 120 for the SBR control.
yeah, that's in 26, you wanna do, right?
Yeah.
And what about the filter rehab?
That I'm still trying to do under this year's budget.
Okay. Oh yeah, we budgeted for that already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add 120. Oh shit, left it up. Do it again. $275.5, does that sound like everybody gets the same number?
No. Did you include the truck on that?
I did.
I got 300, 500.
Okay, let's go run them down, so what do we miss? I got 15 on the tree, right?
Yep.
10, I mean, I'm sorry, that's
No,
not 15
that was 25.
tree, 120,
Yep,
25,
yep.
20,
Yeah, you missed one of the 25s.
where?
Either the sewer repairs or the piston repair. So I guess that was up in the air, because you said you didn't want to budget it twice, but I don't know if I'll get it done this fiscal.
Hang on,
25 and 25.
where are we looking at the, I don't see the,
This
right,
25 and this 25.
oh, you didn't have that one?
I didn't have it
Yeah.
highlighted, but that was the one that we had discussed, and I said we should be doing the sewer repairs
Right.
as part of the budget annually as our base budget, but we haven't, because we haven't been doing it.
Yeah, I just don't think, it never hurts to just put it in there, so if you can see what it is, you know what's coming.
Right, but what I'm saying is that should be a routine every year
Right,
line
Instead
item
of
that
a
we should
capital.
be
Yeah.
doing, instead of separating it out, saying this is a not normal
well, it's gonna get,
expense.
right, but it'll get funded, but it's just a matter of.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if you're,
I know you're saying because you want to, that instead of coming out retained earnings. put
right,
into-
it should be part of the rates,
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
should be doing it every year. I mean, we actually, it's actually in our permit that we're supposed to do I&I every year.
yeah. Well, didn't we buy some cameras and stuff to do
Yeah, we
our
got a
own?
camera, but
To do a lot of our own, that was part of
we
it.
can do the small stuff, but it's a push camera, you can only go so far with it.
Yeah,
And then you gotta jet it too, so it's a matter of if we've got time to run our jetter and we strap our camera to it, it's the right way to do it, but we do it.
'cause I thought that was part of the reason we bought that was kind of to do some of that with the smaller sections we could do our own.
Yeah, but again, even if we're doing the work with our camera,
Mhm.
there's still repairs that need to be done. So
Oh, yeah,
whether,
yeah.
whether it's having somebody come in and do the sections that we can't,
Yeah,
or when we find them, we gotta do a repair. So 25 is gonna cover one repair a year, basically.
yeah. So that was in the repair and maintenance, so what do we have? On the sewer. Let's repair and maintenance.
So on sewer, we had 50,000,
Yeah.
which was originally our base was 40, and I raised it by 10 just because all
Mhm.
the repairs that seem to be creeping up constantly now.
So that's the repair and maintenance agreements.
That's, agreements means that we sub out and have somebody else do it.
Right. So I'm up here, it says, just says repair and maintenance, and I'll get that agreement, yeah, okay.
Best thing is go by the
Account number?
account number, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for that one effective one.
Oh, yeah.
Put it underwater and it's supposed to be sewer.
So what was expended under that, under the existing budget for repair and maintenance? What was, I guess what I'm looking at, was that, do we already account for that 25,000 on the I&I?
What do you mean?
In this year's budget, that was, what we budgeted, when last year, do we include that in, did we change that, the thought process on that? Do we include that in last year's budget,
No.
on the I&I,
No.
on the maintenance agreements? Because we were at 91,000.
That was just picking up the things that we said we were gonna do. Fire alarm panel, tree removal. So it was, what was it, 93?
91.
So 113.
Oh, that's what would decrease.
Oh, so that was
It's
a- that was a
113,
reduction.
yeah, you're right. From the 204, that
Right,
was
so-
wrong. 113.
Right, so 113 was the 63 plus the 50 that we had for a base.
Okay, so 63, yep. So that was, so it didn't include adding, we didn't add that in there
No,
for the base? So what comes out of that for the base for that 50?
that's just all the other repairs and maintenance stuff that we do around here. If it's HVAC stuff,
So just unanticipated
yeah,
things. like-
heaters, pumps, you know, stuff that
Okay.
streams, blower belts, fans.
Yeah. All right, so you want to put,
It's also a pump station, so.
so you want to add that into 26, is what you're saying?
What do you mean? Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Well, like I said, I still think that that should increase the base from 50 to 75, and just it should be included in every.
I'd like to look at the detailed expenditure report of that, on those accounts to see,
Yeah, see what was
yeah,
expended.
just to see how that all played out. So maybe we can do that for next year's budget. But
Yeah.
I do, it is helpful when you look at the detail, because you can see everything that,
Yeah, you'll see all the
and
stuff
you
that
can
I'm.
apply it to when you're talking, I can say,
Yeah.
okay, you can see what was done. All right, so with that, so where are we landing on this one now?
But I will also tell you that some of that I gotta go through,
Yeah,
because Lee put it into the wrong categories.
usually I get it from Gene, that's, I take, when I was,
Yeah, but it's, Gene has it, I talked to Gene today, I'm like, hey, I noticed that you put this underwater, but it's a sewer pump,
oh, okay.
so it's in the wrong item,
Okay,
so I gotta get that fixed so it'll look correct.
so what'd you come up with for a number? What'd you put?
300,500.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
Divided by the,
Right, with the difference.
yep, the 25.
Yep. So that would roughly put us at 300,000. So 300,000.
Put you at 1.924.
Roughly, yep.
Fire alarm 82. Fire alarm 82. You're taking one BLS to Hubbard. You're taking one BLS to Hubbard, 1933.
1924500.
Will be 564, something like that. plug the numbers in on the computer and spit it out.
Well, if we're gonna get if you wanna close this out tonight, then we can get a number. I mean, that'll put us pretty close to, where we need to be based on the revenue and everything that we have.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be within, then we'd have to use some retained earnings, but
Right, we gotta transfer the 300,500 from retained earnings to do for these projects.
yeah, because we no longer have a reserve for debt line item. I don't have anything reserved for debt anymore, so that comes out of retained earnings. So it'd have to be the 300, 500 plus the 20. Because I don't have anything reserved for debt, which was also, anytime we did reserve for debt, it was actually from retained earnings, but we had a line item that specifically had.
Right, it's always, but yeah, but when they read the budget, like you had, I read that, that usually says reserve for debt, and then,
It was in the breakout, but
yes, I think you're saying yes, you're right, yep.
but it still
Yes.
came out of retained
Yeah.
earnings. It was just a portion of retained earnings that she had earmarked for.
Okay, so what does that put
But
that
we no
number?
longer have that. We have no money in reserve for debt anymore because all
Yeah,
our
that's
debt was cleared.
Yeah,
So what would come out of retained earnings would be the 320,500.
and then, I'm just looking, for next year's budget, for the FY '27, let me think how that would be. The anticipated debt is gonna come out at, what was the debt schedule on that, the anticipated first year, so,
Depends if you do the.
Yeah.
yeah,
You jumped.
I would rather do the declining because that saves us a truck.
yeah. And
So you're going from 20 to 87.4.
Yeah, so it'd be 87.4 would be the first year.
so I guess we
Then
could,
it steadily
The rest of it
decreases
drops.
year after year it goes down. Whereas the other one, you have pretty steady payments, but it results in a $62,500 additional expense to the department.
yeah, I'd rather do the declining one.
Me
Right.
too.
Yeah. And then, so. There'll be an increase, so next year's budget would, just on that line item, would increase by that. roughly.
67.
Right. Okay, so which that wouldn't be too bad, we should be able to work that in. Okay, so then, you wanna run those numbers and get us an actual total for that we can approve?
Make sure it's where- Pause the camera. Can we pause the camera in the middle?
I think we can you? I'm not sure.
That's the case. I'm gonna do a bathroom break.
Yeah. I say likewise.
Wanna go first?
No, go ahead.
August Marloff, any available EMS personnel trying to stop a second ambulance, 97 North Street, 67-year-old male, extremely low blood pressure. August Marloff, any available EMS personnel, second ambulance, respond to 97 North Street. I have a 67-year-old male, extremely low blood pressure. Any available EMS, contact dispatch 1938. 2040. Precinct 1 1/4. Raise your service truck. Early. Any available medic looking for one medic to respond 97 North Street for a 67-year-old male with extremely low blood pressure. Repeating. Fire alarm, any available medic? Still need, I need one medic. I have one in quarters on 97 North Street for that 67-year-old male with extremely low blood pressure. Any available medic? Contact this medic. Fire alarm to headquarters. Car 2 is going to meet you at headquarters. Receive day 1's on here. Receive day 1.
The only thing we're gonna need though, Bob, on that is an actual printout of that as well. With the updated numbers, the budget.
What are you looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta do it all right, okay.
That's what I'm putting it in right here, and then I'm putting on the side
Okay,
what the additional from that sheet was.
okay.
Just 175,760. You know, we didn't factor in on that,
What's that?
the 100,000, the 250s.
For engineering?
Yeah.
Right.
So what was the number?
So we're 320, 500.
Right, so, but the total we said was gonna be 1,924,564, right? But if we added the other 100,000, that'd put us at 2,024,564,
Correct.
with 420,500 coming out of retained
Retained earnings. Yep. Just to say, we left, in that calculation, we left out the 2 line items, 50,000 each for engineering, for retained earnings, for anticipated projects.
For unanticipated projects,
Yeah,
for the engineering
unanticipated.
portion, that just goes back to retained earnings if we don't use it.
The engineer and architectural.
So,
That's on these sheets, but it's not on this.
do we wanna pull the 40,000, the 50,000 from sewer system development and the 40,000 from water system development? I mean, the I&I is definitely system development, you're
looking at what
Yeah.
we've done there.
Yeah.
Out of these, what else can I justify on that? Let me look. So I'd say sewer, do at least 25. And then water system development. I mean, the PRV would be system development. Other than that, I can't really call it.
So you got 50,000 in engineering, you got 50,000 on each on water and on sewer, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we've had for the last couple of years. So I think with these numbers, it will come out to be more in line with what I said if you pick some of those things that should be budgeted, like the sewer repairs, the I&I stuff, the tree removal, and like a pump every year. If you pull those and put them into the normal budget, we would be closer to what we anticipate for for revenues. Because right now, running the numbers that I just did, we're only pulling 150. Well, let me print it for you.
There is one in the room. Please see service one heavy.
What did I just do?
So is that 192 for the other services, that whole thing for Senegal?
No, that's also Phoenix, the lab testing. There's a few other things in there.
I know we increased at 20,000.
Yeah, because we have to start doing PFAS sampling,
Okay.
and the PFAS samples, we have to do the sludge, the influent, the effluent, 4 times a year. They're like $700 a test. So there's 3 times 4 is 12 times 700 a piece.
Okay.
So
I was just looking to try to reduce some of those bigger ones if we could.
unfortunately, the biggest one is the Synagro. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's well over 100,000 for Synagro alone.
Yeah.
Screw up. So from raise from user fees and charges, right now I have it at 154, 1.544064. So I just have that number set to adjust based on what we have for the other numbers. So I think we could reduce retained earnings number by some, but it's up to you on how you want to list that.
Say that again. So you had the regular for expenses,
Did that?
but you're not adding,
Mm. I think you take it from one and put it in the other.
yeah.
Does the 320 include the debt? The 3,500, was that including the debt?
Right, because it was 300,
So I got debt.
300,500 plus 20,000 debt.
Yeah. I can't pull it from reserve for debt, that's why I got. So 156.4 or 1.564064 is what the number comes out to for coming out of anticipated revenue.
What was that? 1,560,000.
1.564064, and then 25 from sewer system development and 15 from water system development, and then 420,500 from retained earnings.
Four twenty-five hundred for retained earnings. And what was the other system development? 40?
Sewer system development's 25 and water system development's 15.
Tracy's heavy out.
2,019,564.
Fire alarm 82 on arrival at Hubbard.
Tracy's 82 heavy on arrival at Hubbard.
No, if I do that, I gotta reduce the
Service one
the
is
420 will get reduced by that 40.
Tracy's service truck heavy on scene on North Street.
420 to get reduced by the 40?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
So you'll be at 380, 500, but it's technically still. So then we're at 160 or 1.604064.
You lost me.
Yeah, let me print this real quick and I'll show you. I was double dipping on the system development and the water development. The sewer and the water system development. Because those system developments are also retained earnings. We calculated everything for the retained earnings being that for. Same page twice.
Yeah.
Go with the one that says 380.
Traffic. 481, particularly west and Craigland.
380 down here.
On the right.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Pull this one out.
Tracy's
That's why I don't confuse it.
So you need glasses.
I need my glasses for this print. Super cheaters. You'll get there, don't
I
worry.
know.
It was good up until last year.
Yeah,
Ride the wave while I can.
yeah.
So you see what I'm looking, what the numbers are?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So those,
Right, 380 retained earnings.
those three together come up to the 420, 500 out of retained earnings. saying
So
that
I'm trying to see.
this number is right.
Reserve for debt. So,
There is no reserve for debt.
right, so I'm looking to see.
It's built into the,
Built into
it's
the,
built into the 4,2,500. That covers the debt as well.
retained
Because
earnings.
I don't have reserve for debt anymore,
Okay,
so it's just retained earnings that's gonna cover that debt.
so that's coming out, so the 385 and
The 3,8,500 includes the 20,000 for debt.
okay. And you add that, then add the 25 and add the 15, right?
Yep. And it should be 4,2,500.
380. Yes, that would be.
And that includes the 100,000 between the two departments for 50 each for engineering. That if we don't run into anything, it should
Goes back to
go
retained
back to
earnings.
retained earnings. So theoretically, it's 3,2,500 coming out of retained earnings.
Okay, so the. Looking at it. So it's like $100,000, roughly, a little over 100,000, a little under 100,000 increase. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't include the full debt, which is gonna come on next year.
Correct. But we'll have a better idea of what the revenues will be. Because like I said, I'm anticipating more like 1.7 for user fees and revenue.
Okay.
So we're estimating on the low side with 160.
Mm-hmm.
So once McKesson will be up and running,
Yeah.
so there'll be a huge number there. Because they have illegal irrigation, because we don't allow it, and they put it in anyway. So we'll get an extra revenue from them.
It's all right.
I know.
Revenue's good.
I'm not complaining. CRG should be online, that building, for following year's budget. So that'll be up and running. North Village will have more customers, and we didn't capture a lot of the customers this year from usage because they're just getting filled now.
Mm-hmm.
So additional, I don't think, not sure about Joseph Drive.
Yeah.
Although some of those were just filled at the end of this last year, right? So those weren't, that's additional revenue that's not counted for. And then, like I said, whatever North Village adds this year they're starting phase 4, which is the final phase.
Yeah.
So that's another 35 units or something like that. 35, 40 units.
Okay, and then on the salaries, how did you come up with
That's
those?
fully staffed and based on the 2% COLA and whatever step were available.
It's only one employee available for a step.
And is that Josh?
No,
Who would be
Steve.
Steve, okay.
It's 10 years. You might be right, it might be 2. But I gotta double check if I put Josh in I think I did put him in for the second year. Because it goes 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be his second. So he'd be in for the step on that. The admin position at a level funded, plus the 2%.
Mm-hmm. what do we get for, yeah, I don't even know what the hell we get for, what do we get for a commission again? 1,200?
Mm-hmm. Why, looking for another spot to save on the budget?
Yeah.
Donate it back.
It's already a donation.
You're doing good.
It already is a donation. The, okay, 1.8. Okay. So on the salaries, I think before July 1, on any step increase, I think every employee has to have a review in writing, a full review in writing, and then that gets put in the file, so it's not getting, and I imagine if they don't meet the review, then they don't get the step.
I gotta double check on that, because the way those steps
Not that
are written
I'm
out.
not anticipating that, but I'm
Yeah, I was gonna
just
say that,
just,
the one getting the step is above and
Yeah.
beyond, so.
yeah,
um, The way the chart's written,
yeah.
it's based on years,
Not performance.
not merit-based.
Right.
That's interesting.
Which is what I always said before, it was useless to do reviews when, if it was voted for steps, you know, even the way it was based before,
So the way the personnel bylaw is drafted now, it's not done on merit, on a step increase?
I don't believe so.
So it's just a 2% COLA
And then
and
it
a step increase,
based on
number of
years
years.
of service, is my understanding. I mean, I'll double check on it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it should be merit-based, I mean, that's kind of a,
It was always my argument
Yeah.
before, even when it was the 1 through 10, it was, if you had been, it was, you know, basically up to 10 years, you got steps.
Mhm.
And it was based on whether the select board voted for steps and COLA, or just COLA, or
yeah,
nothing. And that's why I always said, I don't like the method, because if I've got an employee that's doing exceptional, going above and beyond, and I say, hey, I wanna give him a step or 2 steps, I can't if the select board didn't vote for it. So I do his review, you did great, I give you these goals, these targets, you hit them, exceed, and if they don't vote on it, I say, well, you did everything, but I can't give you a step, because they didn't
Right.
approve them.
personnel bylaw,
So, then you've got somebody that's not doing anything,
that gets it, gets it.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
Yeah.
they get a step, so I'm like, there's no incentive with the review or anything, with the way that works.
Yeah. Wonder why they changed that. Okay, so. Are we, where we need to be?
I think we're balanced. I mean, I could use a couple million more to get some things done, but
Yeah, we all could.
other than that, budget-wise,
So the 1,604,064 is coming from user fees and charges,
correct.
and the 420,500 is coming from
Retained.
retained earnings, for a total budget of $2,024,564,
Correct.
right?
Those are numbers to see what the increase was.
It's about,
Oh, 86,841.
yeah,
Already have it built in there.
the what?
Already have it built in there. Somewhere. No, tell nowhere. Is there a number there somewhere?
Oh, yeah, 86,840.
Yep.
Okay, so if we're good with that, then make a motion on that if you're
Yep.
happy with that number.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree with it.
So, do you wanna go through, the numbers?
I feel comfortable
Okay,
with
go ahead.
what we've gone over, and
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept the budget as presented.
Okay, so with that would be, so $1,604,064 to be raised from user fees and charges. $420,500 would be from retained earnings.
That would break down the sewer.
And out of that would be 25,000 would be sewer system development, 15,000 for the water system development, and then that would leave the 385,500 from the retained earnings. So for a total budget of $2,024,564. Okay, so a motion? Is that the motion?
Yep.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So voted. All right.
Tracy, one custody, May 05.
Alright, anything else on the agenda?
Just making a couple notes here. What else? Okay, so we have open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 40 hours in advance of the meeting.
I don't have anything.
Okay, so I'll give it for a motion to adjourn. Do you have anything, Bob?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then the time is 8:06.